Well, let's just get this over with because right now, as I speak, I have made 5 attempts to make this video. At each attempt, I was so enraged because I really didn't want to be reminded of a movie that I despise. I hated this movie so much that it was on my number one list uh, ever since I saw it on HBO. And that movie is Spice Worlds. Yeah, I hated it that much. I hated it much than that animated Who Who Framed Roger Rabbit ripoff, which is Cool World, which is kind of funny how that is in the top five list and this is number one, and both has the ending of World in it. Um, Go figure. But I hated this movie for a lot of reasons, and mainly because I'm gonna just basically explain my own experience with this film, before it came out, during the release, and when I finally saw it on HBO. And the reason why is because this film doesn't really have much to offer. This is a movie I consider it as an insult towards filmmaking, an insult towards towards actual good storytelling, and a slap in the face towards every Spice Girl fan who actually spend money to see their concerts, spend money to buy their records, and was suckered into a movie that pretty much said that you guys are dumb, thank you for your cash, and basically ran out like bandits. Because this film was a hit, a huge hit when it came out, despite the fact of all the warning signs that came out. And man, were there a lot of warning signs. This film was announced that the Spice Girls was going to have their own movie. This was after their big success, their big year. They was featured in concerts. One of their songs actually was in a Pepsi commercial called Generation Next, which I will admit was actually one of my favorite songs that they actually did. I actually liked that song, but I wasn't going to pay $24 for an import of that song, which, by the way, wasn't released in the U.S. at the time. It was actually only the U.K., and you had to actually buy the UK version of that album to get that song. And I was not a fan of the Spice Girls. I just liked that one song, and I was hoping it was a single, but it wasn't. When it was announced that the movie was going to be made, the first thing I said is I'm not going to see this film because to me this is a film for the fans and only for the fans. It's no sense for me to watch this movie when I'm not even a fan of the Spice Girls. Let the fans have their fun. Let them have their enjoyment. That's cool. That's fine. I'm pretty sure that there are musicians and groups that other people watch that was not a fan of. But they love it. They know they want to see their famous stars, and and that was pretty much how I left it at that. I pretty much knew the critics was going to be either mixed or negative on it. I didn't see it being overall positive. And then when the movie was released, man oh man, the negative reviews just kept pouring in and pouring in. The late Roger Ebert considered it the most hated film of the year. Not the worst film, one of the most hated films of the year. And again, I just didn't really care for it. I said, okay, I didn't see this film. I don't know what this is all about. But I recognize that, hey, you know what? The fans may like it. The fans may enjoy it. They may find some good elements to it. I was fine with that. The fans deserve to have their film, no matter what anybody else says. They're not looking to make a masterpiece, after all. They just dare to give a thank you to the fans. And I left it at that. HBO came along, nothing was on TV. My team was not really playing at the time. I didn't want to go out to see any movies because there was really no movie that caught my interest at the time. I was just tired, didn't really feel like playing the video game at the time, and I said, you know what? Spice Girls is going to be on HBO. Let me see what this is all about. Who knows? I may actually surprise myself and actually may enjoy the film. I turned on HBO at the time that it was going to be put on 9 o'clock, and I stood from beginning to end watching this film. Not because I liked it, because I was utterly shocked and disgusted of how poorly filmed, poorly acted, poorly directed, poorly edited, poorly everything this film was. I didn't even know I was watching a movie. That's how bad the camera work was in this. Um, I can't tell you about the plot. There was none. There was no plot. I cannot tell you anything about this plot. Even today, I cannot tell you what this general film is about, except for the fact that some people from the media wanted to break up the Spice Girls, and that they had to make the concert in time. Other than that, it was just filler and cameos, which shook my head in disappointment. Elton John, what the hell were you doing in this movie? Please tell me. If you're looking at this, tell me. Was it worth the paycheck? Were you friends with the Spice Girls? I need to know. I really do. Because that was the most heartbroken thing that I saw. I love Elton John's music. I hate him in this cameo. I really did, along with a lot of other actors who was in this cameo. The Spice Girls was horrible in this movie. Their music was horrible in this movie. Everything from beginning to end was horrible in this movie. And you know what's even more sad about it is that that's not the only reason why I hate this movie. This movie pretty much threw everything that this group represented and just threw it out the window. They ran on a very big catchphrase, girl power. I don't have a problem with that. That's good. It is empowerment. Independent women. That's fine. But you make a film with bad jokes. And one of the jokes that still to this day, let me calm down a little bit. One of their friends was pregnant, and the Spice Girls was visualizing their life as, possibly having children, being pregnant, preparing to have children, and how they did it. A lot of people said it was supposed to be meant for, for comic, supposed to be funny. I found it insulting. I found it insulting for every single mother who actually stood and watched that. I found it even insulting for young girls who, loved the Spice Girls because they empowered them. I just find it insulting towards the intelligence that if you have children and if you're about to have a family, that your career is pretty much over, it's going to go down to the dumps. And I was surprised. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And to this day, I'm like, they really went that way. So I guess girl power don't really mean anything to the Spice Girls. Not to mention that they really didn't do anything in this movie. Okay, they went shopping. Okay, they're dealing with the media. They got to get to their concert in time, which, by the way, the worst third act I have ever seen in the film. That was the worst third act. The music. All right, let me go back to Purple Rain here, because a lot of people surprisingly have saw that review. Some did comment, some liked it, some didn't. It's pretty much mixed, and I understand. I expected that. I'm no fan that I'm not a big fan of Purple Rain. I made that quite clear when I did that review. There's a reason why it's not a memorable film to me, and that's because it just wasn't a good film. It was very sloppily put together. Prince is not an actor. I think anybody here who saw that film can at least agree on one thing: Prince is not an actor. But what made that film still holds out today isn't much of the story, but Prince's performance in music. I will always say that what Prince lacked in acting, he made up in his musical performance in that film. And to me, that was what a lot of people actually grabbed hold on. It is still worth the price of admission just to see that talented man perform. And I think he proved that with the Billboard Award, just how talented that man really is. You will never hear me say that man is not talented in his art of music, because I'll be lying to myself, and you have every right to bash me over the head with every negative comment, because it's simply not true. He is a magnificent talent when it comes to music, and I think a lot of the new cats can learn something from Prince and how you perform in a concert and how you make music. Because let's be honest, the music industry is not exactly what it once was when we was growing up in the 80s and even early 90s. But that's neither here or there. that film still holds up for a reason. Whether you like it or hate it, you gotta give it respect. It still holds up, and many people hold Purple Rain dear. Even other films that I grew up with, Beach Street, Cross Crew, these were films that was not done by actors, but done by musicians. And although they wasn't the greatest cinema classics during the time, people still grabbed on to the music. The music, what helped carry the film. Even Glitter, which I believe gets a lot of hate for something it didn't really deserve. Is it a good movie? No. But that's because the story wasn't well structured. It wasn't well put together. But I cannot say that it was bad acting. I thought Mariah Carey was fine in the film. I know what she was trying to do. I know what story she was trying to tell. It just wasn't structured right. The music was not that bad either. I just felt half it wasn't due to the fact that there's people who was involved in that project did a lame ass job and basically dumped it once the film the film wasn't a huge success. It was actually, it bombed badly. And the fact that she had a nervous breakdown, I think the film would have probably done fine in the box office. There's a lot of reasons why that film done bombed. Her performance, well, the film in general, wasn't really one of them. Even though the film wasn't well structured, I still found some good qualities. I still found some enjoyable things that I like. And I gotta tell you, Mariah Carey was trying to tell a personal story that I actually wanted to know about. This film didn't do any of that. There was nothing here that I can say to you that grabbed my attention. The music, which you thought would probably be the strong point of the Spice Girls, was actually the Achilles heels of the Spice Girls. I really didn't, I could not believe the half-assed job they did even with the music. It was terrible. Everything about this film was terrible, and it dawned on me why it was terrible. They never planned to make anything. They just had the Spice Girls, put them in the film, let them do whatever the hell they want, and then, you know what, release it. They knew who they was going after. You know what, they got it. And to me, this almost ruined films like this, like films that stars musicians, to be taken seriously because of this movie. This one alone, it's really. In case you guys wonder if they think I'm going overboard with this, here's the thing: when this film came out, when this film was released, and after its release, I have not heard a single Spice Girl fan defend this film. Now, I'm sure there's some out there. I know there's a lot of people who make probably vlogs about this, but I have not heard a single fan say, "Yeah, this was a great experience for me. I'm glad I watched this film." Some will say it was okay. Some said, I never heard one good positive thought on this movie. And I don't know if this was the movie that actually broke them up the first time. There was a lot of rumors thrown around that this is the movie that did it. I don't know. I'm not going to go and say that was the case. But it wouldn't shock me if it did. What really pissed me off is that this film basically spat in the face of the fans. It spat in the face of filmmaking. It spat in the face on storytelling in general. And look, I don't expect the Spice Girls to be great actresses. I really didn't. But I did expect them to give something that the fans actually came in to see. And I didn't see that. I saw a lame-ass film being put together just to grab their fans' money. That was all I saw. I didn't see anything else but that. And maybe there's someone out there who says that's not true. I like this film, and this is the reason why. Hey, that's fine. I'm glad you enjoyed this movie. I really did, but I didn't. I hated this film. I really did hate this film, and I was hoping to throw this away. That I said I pretend I never seen that. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that film. I'm gonna pretend I never seen that piece of garbage. And then the nostalgia chick reminded me about why I hate this film, which is kind of funny because that was the video that actually got me to watch her videos, and I'm actually kind of glad because I'll give you 1 point because she is a very good analysis in terms of cinema. So I will give them a little half a point. But other than that, that's it. Um, and I said, damn it. I'd rather watch Matilda. I'd rather watch Police Academy 5. Hell, I'd rather watch Cool World, and I can't stand that film. I can't stand Cool World. I hate that film with a bloody passion. But nothing compared to that than this. I'd rather watch that than that. If I have a choice, give me Cool World. I'd rather watch that. For anything else, I like some of the animation that was in there. Other than that, I can't. I just it. I hate lazy, poorly put together filmmaking like this, especially when there's millions of other films that I can watch, fan films no matter, that put more effort than what this film has. And man, did it hurt anyone taking musicians as movie stars very seriously. I'm just glad LL Cool J came in the 80s and that didn't affect him or Madonna, even though her career kind of slid down when she did Swept Away. That will be coming soon. But yeah, this was not a film that I consider to be a work of art. I consider it to be one piece of trash. I don't think there's any secret of what my rating is about this. This is a 0 because it gave me nothing to work with. When I do my rating, even the bad films, I try to find something that I think that even I didn't like, but I found something that was actually good. Like the music was pretty much good, the effects I actually enjoyed, the visuals I actually enjoyed, the acting I actually enjoyed, but everything else I didn't like. I try to be fair towards what is being shown to me. I don't just throw that, oh well, this was not etiquette. No, I don't do that kind of thing. I'm not an aristocrat critic. I'm not a conservative critic. I try to look for the good in all films. This is one of a very few, and it's very hard for me it's very hard for a movie to get a 0 from me. You have to really mess up for me to give you a 0 star. This film messed up. This film pretty much takes the cake. This film is a 0+ stars. That's how bad this film is. And all my friends said, well, you had this film as your #1 film you despise for years, but you haven't seen movie 43 yet. You haven't seen the other film yet that's, I'm pretty sure is on DVD. You may actually put 043 on top. Hey, look, it may be happening. 043 may actually break it. But for now, until I see that film, until I see the film that everybody said that this is probably most despised film of this year, this film will stay on that list for a while, for a very long while. And because the simple fact is, I don't consider this a movie. I consider this as a piece of trash that con their own fans into watching. That's how I see it. It's a con. A lot of people accuse the Spice Girls of being a factory-made film. I don't want to call them that, because they're all something that people see in them. Maybe they were a trend back in the days, but I always give musicians credit. I always try to say, oh man, it may not be for me, but I don't disrespect the fans when they see their movies. I don't do that. I know a lot of people who does. They hate boys and girl groups, and they make videos and make blogs on why they do it. I'm not going to be on those guys. I treat each artist with that respect. If I don't like you, I just don't listen to you. That's it. But I also understand that there are some lazy artists. There are some ones that are very talented, and I give them the benefit of the doubt. Even those who do covers, I consider them, they put a lot of effort into this. I like their music, and I'll give them a shout out. In fact, I'm actually working on a blog talking about one of them that I think she came a very long way. And if you've seen Radioactive or the Mission Impossible covers, and you like violin, you pretty much can guess who I'm talking about. I give them respect. This movie, when I saw this movie, I lost a lot of respect for the Spice Girls, because I felt that they really took advantage of their fans in a terrible way. And again, this is one of the very few, because I still hear fans talking about Purple Rain. I still hear fans talking about Cross Crude and Beat Street. Half the guys don't even know what that film is growing up because it really did lost its value over the years. Hell, there are even fans of freaking The Wiz, and I don't even like that movie. But there are elements of that they actually enjoy. They consider that their guilty pleasure. That's cool. I don't hear too many people talking about Spice Girls at all. Spice World is not on their radar. And you know what's kind of funny is this film came out and it was an announcement that NSYNC was going to have their movie, a musical. And after seeing the reviews of this and how people were actually was not really in the positive light of this film, that got canceled quick. So maybe that was actually a blessing in disguise. I don't know. But NSYNC was supposed to be next in line to have their own film, and I think Hollywood said we better stop because this is not voting too well for a lot of people. But that was the film that I wanted to talk about. Now I got that out the way. I don't have to talk about it again. But again, I spend 20 minutes just rambling on just the fact of how much I hate this film. You guys may not hate this film. You guys may actually like this film, and for many reasons. That's cool. Tell me about it. That's fine. If you like it, that's cool. I'm not gonna sit there and scream. You don't know what you're talking about. This is just me telling you that out of all the films I've seen, and I've seen a lot of bad ones. Even though I haven't talked about it much in Flashback Review, which that's gonna change next season. This was the one that pissed me off the most. This was the one I just could not understand how this film was even made and how this film even got greenlit. And this is the one that pretty much said the Spice Girls are a bunch of cons, at least for the time being. I know they're back on the circuit, just doing tours internationally, but to me, at that time, I did not have respect for them because of the film they made. And a lot of people say it's not their fault. They've been, they've been obligated to do it. Hey, look, you should have read the script. You should have said, hey, look, I'm not gonna do this film. In my opinion, if you read the script and you still did this film, you take part of the blame because to me, the stuff I saw, the performance I've seen, and the images that I was getting from it, really was a spit in the face towards your fans, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. And that's all I'm gonna say about this flashback review. I'm not going to go any further than that. If you do agree or disagree, put it in the comment section. I will read it. I will respond to you. I will reply to you about this movie. It's kind of ironic because I wasn't going to, because normally I have a different format. I was actually going to, do imagery on the Spice Girls. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to waste my time and energy looking for images. I probably do one images, probably put in the front or something or the back. I'm not going to waste my time with that. You're going to see my face on this because this is one of the films that you have to see my face on. But in any case, that's just I'm just done giving my opinion on this matter. That's it for the flashback review of the year. That's pretty much done. I will be back with flashback reviews, new ones in the fall, in time for Christmas because I'm going to be looking at a lot of Christmas movies from the past, including Disney's sequel, which actually got a lot of good positive reviews when I did it, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Hopefully I can do the sequel, which is Disney Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, and see how that also holds up. Take a look back on that. So I'm actually going to be doing that pretty much either a flashback or just a standalone review because Disney has done a lot of good holiday movies that I haven't touched on lately, and I think it's time that I actually give Disney a little bit more credibility in terms of their holiday specials. They seem to do a good job with most of the holiday specials, not all, but with most of them that they have done. I also want to say to everyone who actually support the Flashback Review, thank you for voicing your opinion. Also, thank you for disagreeing and agreeing with me. It really means a lot. This was one of the first series I have done on YouTube. Didn't expect this to be a big thing, but I actually like talking about movies and giving my opinion. And for that, for those who have watched, especially those who have been watching some of my older reviews, especially Home Alone. Home Alone, I am very surprised that people was very into my opinion on Home Alone 4. All of them for that matter. So I may be actually doing a special flashback on that when the time comes. Because believe me, it says a lot about the franchise as well as the fans who have stuck with it. But in any case, I want to thank all of you again. I can't say enough. You guys have been very supportive, and thank you, Matic Expression, for allowing me to post flashback reviews on the website. It really means a lot to me, as well as you guys spreading your opinion. Thank you, Big Black Hat Man, as well as everyone who actually just love classic movies. And with that, I'll leave you with this: movies is an art form. Uh, a lot of the actors are paid to pretend to bring out a character, or bring out something that I'll be honest, I can't do. And I want to say to the actors, even though some of them I don't really care for, thank you for bringing the art to the cinema. Thank you for making me have the emotions of happiness and even sadness, and let me care for my history. There's a lot of films that it wasn't for the actors as well as the story in general that it's based upon, I probably wouldn't have known about. And I'm giving you a hint of the very first movie that I'm going to be doing in the fall. Because it was this movie that got my attention to look at the events internationally and not just stay isolated in just American events. I'm going to leave you that clue and leave it at that. That will be the first flashback review of the year. But that won't be coming to pretty much late September, early October. But until then, guys, I will be posting catch-up reviews on movies that I've seen this year, as well as some of the films that I saw last year. Give my opinion. These are not flashback reviews because these are the films that I've seen for the first time. We'll be giving my feeling on that. Audio topics will be in full effect. Video game reviews will be in full effect, so those will be coming out very shortly. And my blogs will be coming back soon. So if you guys want to be interested in my blog articles, go to maticexpression.com. They'll be there, as well as other of my fellow producers there. They also do very great job in blogs. But until then, guys, this is J77 saying thank you for watching. Be safe, and until then, the screen is closed.